thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Oh, it's so cold out here. I guess you guys are used to the sun, right? Sort of. Do you mind if I keep my shades on so I can see you okay? All right. Take the shirt off. We don't need to be arrested here today. It's something you would never recover from. Thank you very much. Thank you for this wonderful turnout in the middle of the day when you should all be at class. Now, they told me that only students could come in, students and faculty. Is that right? Yeah, I don't understand that. That's too bad. Yeah. Universities should be about their community, too, don't you think? Kind of sucks that we're going to be over at USC on Thursday night, and they've invited all of South Central. Yeah, well, but, you know, they're letting everyone in, you know. We still hate them. Fuck them. Well, 3 weeks to go. And this is we're on a tour across the country. Mostly to the 20 battleground states. This is our 23rd stop. It's actually I think our first stop in a blue state. But we needed to make a pit stop in LA today, and this seemed like a good idea to come here to UCLA, a place that we've always enjoyed coming to. So thank you for having me here, and I'm honored to be here. We have our third debate coming up with Kerry and Bush tomorrow night. How about those first two debates, huh? Oh, man. I mean, let's start with that first debate. What were all those looks on Bush's face? I think he actually believed that the media was going to do what they've done for the last 4 years, which was obey his rules and not have the cutaway shots. And for some reason they didn't, and there were all those looks on his face. Did you see it? It was those Three Stooges double takes he kept doing. And then he was like, he was so discombobulated. It was so, he was right in the middle of a sentence, and Kerry didn't interrupt him, the moderator didn't interrupt him, the red light didn't go on, and all of a sudden he just goes, "Let me finish." Well, nobody was stopping you. It was like he was hearing voices in his head or something. Somebody said that he had an earpiece or getting instructions from Karl Rove. Let me finish. Let me finish. So, you know, one commentator said he showed up to a 90-minute debate with 5 minutes worth of material because he just kept repeating himself over and over again. You know, it's hard work. It's hard work being president. You know, it's hard work. It's hard work. We know it's hard work. That's why we want you out of there. You've been on vacation 40% of the time. It is hard work. And then Kerry would talk about this, you know, this coalition of the willing, and how, you know, what a fraud it is. And then Bush would go, "What about Poland?" How many times did he say that? "Hey, what about Poland?" "Hey, you forgot Poland." And then like 5 days later, Poland announces it's pulling its troops out of Iraq. It was like, damn. And then he went to reach for the glass of water to drink the water, and he puts it up to his lips, and he realizes there's no water in there, and he keeps drinking anyways. He probably thought, they'll fall for the illusion. They always do with me. There's really water in this glass. There's weapons of mass destruction in this glass. Unbelievable. And then the second debate, where somebody asked him a question, he said, yeah, I've heard those rumors on the internets. I did not know there was more than one internet. I want to get on the other internet. My internet is too damn slow. Where's the other internet? I want to see that internet. Anyways, well, we probably shouldn't rag on him too much, the poor guy. He doesn't have much longer in power, and, it's a rough time for Republicans. Do we have any Republicans here today with us? No, let's be nice. The difference, one faint chant in the back, 4 more years, please, 4 more years. From here it sounded like 4 more wars. That would be more appropriate. But let's, the difference between the Bush rallies and our kind of rallies is that there's no loyalty oath to come in here other than being a student of UCLA. Everyone is welcome, and we welcome our Republican brothers and sisters who are here with us today. Thank you for being involved and caring about this country. Actually, I want to begin by saying a few good words about Republicans. Secretly, we admire you because you have pulled it off, man. You've done something we can't do. It's amazing. You represent a minority viewpoint in this country, and yet you control the White House, the Senate, the House of Representatives, the Supreme Court, and a majority of our governorships. That is incredible. You are not supported by the majority of Americans. You lose the popular vote, and yet you own the whole game. Our side, we look at you with secret admiration and jealousy. How do you do it? It's like Republicans, they are relentless, they are dedicated, they are committed, they're like sharks. They never stop moving. They are working every minute of every day right now between here and November 2nd because they have to, because it's the only way they can pull it off. If the majority actually voted, well, it's all over. They're hoping against hope that the 50% who usually don't vote won't vote in this election. Because who are the 50% who don't vote? Are they the rich, the powerful, the elite? No. They're the poor, the disenfranchised, the single mothers, and young people, the largest non-voting bloc in the country. They're hoping those groups who traditionally would vote or do vote Democratic will stay home. They need a low turnout. And it's because they know the country has shifted. We don't live in that old country anymore that they used to control. The majority of Americans now take the liberal position on most of the issues. Even though most Americans wouldn't call themselves liberal, they take the liberal position. They disagree with the Republicans. The majority of Americans do not believe that assault weapons should be made available on the streets of this country. That's the majority position, a 2/3 majority. The majority of Americans believe we need stronger environmental laws, not weaker ones. That's the majority. That's the majority viewpoint. They disagree with the Republicans. The majority of Americans believe women should be paid the same as men. That's the majority. That's the majority now. The majority of Americans believe the long arm of government should keep its paws off a woman's reproductive organs. That's the majority viewpoint in our country now. You take every one of these and other issues, and that's where the people stand. So if the people actually came out and voted, that would be the end of the Republican control of our three branches of government. But that's the key, isn't it? Whether or not people get out to vote. And they're hoping that that doesn't happen. You know, you listen to talk radio, you listen to the Fox News channel, all these right-wingers, all these angry white guys, you know, day after day, screaming and yelling and, shut up! No, you shut up! Shut up! I said shut up first! We'll be right back. Shut up! Right? All day long. It's like, oh, your ears are bleeding from it. And but I've come to the conclusion that the reason they're angry is because they know it's all over. They've lost control. The country has shifted to a liberal position. 62% of America now is either female or people of color. Are you aware of this? 62%. Almost 2/3 of the country is female or people of color. And that just drives them crazy. They know that they're not going to be in charge for much longer. So that's that sound you hear on the Fox News channel. The chicks and the faggots have taken over. You see, they're up at the crack of dawn every morning, the other side, trying to figure out who's going to get hurt today. What minority group isn't going to be allowed to marry each other today? That's their agenda. It's a politics of hate and mean-spiritedness. How can the few get rich at the expense of the many? That essentially defines their politics, and they become so radical and so extremist in their views. You know, when I was growing up, everybody had a Republican in the family. Everybody, you know, it wasn't, you know, a bad thing. It was, I mean, you probably all have one now, right? You know, you must know one Republican somewhere, right? You know, when I was growing up, it was like the uncle who was the penny pincher, you know, the tightwad. You know, he was the one who never left a tip in the restaurant. You know, that's how you defined a Republican back then. Well, she gets a paycheck. What do I need to leave a tip for? You know, but they weren't evil people. They did good things. You know, there was a Republican president who built the interstate highway system, Eisenhower. He refused to bail the French out of Vietnam when the French wanted us to send troops in there in the 1950s. He wouldn't do it. His last speech to America was about the military-industrial complex and warning us about this. That's what a Republican used to do. You know, we didn't agree with them politically, but at least they did a few things for the common good. What's happened here? It's just amazing. And now we're in a situation where we've got a man in the White House who believes he's going to get elected to his first elected term, that he's by repeating 3 mantras, that he believes if he just says the same 3 things every day across America, that Americans are so stupid they're going to fall for it. In fact, we have heard these mantras so much, the 3 to 5 word, simple, keep it simple, right? We can't, any of us, even if you support Kerry, you can't get it out of your head, right? Right? We could do it in here right now, couldn't we? Kerry is the #1 liberal in the Senate, right? What's the second one? Kerry is a flip-flopper. Which, by the way, can someone explain the logic of those first 2? Because if he's flip-flopped so much, how has he maintained his position as the #1 liberal in the Senate? I'm just a little confused by that. And number 3, the number 3 Bush mantra, if Kerry's elected, you're going to die. that's how they're hoping to win, by scaring enough Americans into believing that they're going to die. You know, Kerry, for his part, you know, he should just, next time Bush says you've had 7 or 8 positions on Iraq, he should just look at Bush and say, you know what, actually I've had only 1 position on Iraq. I believed you, and you didn't tell the truth. You let us down, and you have to go, Mr. Bush. He should just say, I didn't support the war, I supported you. 70% of the American public supported this war at the beginning. 70%. Because they wanted to believe their president. You should be able to believe your president, especially when he wants to send people of your age off to war. Is that too much to ask? That what comes out of the president's mouth is the truth? Yeah, somebody said, what about Clinton? Right? Yeah, Clinton lied. That's right. Clinton lied. Clinton lied. Yeah, that's true. About a blowjob. Oh, wait. Newsflash just coming in. How many people died from a blowjob today? It's still 0. Oh, what is, they can't give it up about Clinton, can they? They get nuts when you say his name, you know, Republicans. They just go crazy, or even worse, Hillary. Ooh. Ooh, Hillary. Hillary's coming back to be our first woman president. Oh, no! Run away!